Okay, I don't know how to say it, but your twin flame is going through a lot right now. They cannot keep pretending that this does not affect them anymore. Like, the way this came through is so intense. This message is definitely not for everyone. They are drowning in regret, Spirit is saying, because their actions, what they have done has brought them into a very dark place, but honestly, it was necessary for them to wake up, to finally wake up to who they truly are. So, oh my God, Spirit was showing me this image, okay? This is the way it came through. I'm seeing them awake at night with that batch, They're unable to sleep. They're almost paralyzed, when you just can't move. You're in bed, your mind is racing, but you're unable to move, and they feel this immense weight on them, on their chest. They can't breathe, and it's, they can feel your absence physically. They can feel this tension between you in their body. And the way this is coming through, it's like all the words between you that are unspoken, everything that is unsaid between you is putting such a heavy weight on them. It's like a stone, that is on their chest, and it's weighing them down. And they're, in a way, running in circles, because wherever they go with their mind, they kind of end up in the same place, if you know what I'm saying. Like, first of all, Spirit is saying you meeting was very, very intense and very special. You both kind of knew it from the first moment on. This is also the card of intuition, by the way. You had this intuitive hunch, this gut feeling about each other, but they are the one who ran from this. They are the one who kind of didn't want to open their eyes. But the problem is you can't really run from it, because no matter where you're going, there is nowhere to run, because they cannot escape their own thoughts, if you know what I'm saying. Like, they can try to keep you at a distance, but the truth is they're still thinking about you regardless. And not only this, it's way more than just thinking about you. They can feel you, they can sense you, they feel your absence and your presence. So they feel like there's a void where you're not there physically, your absence. They can feel it. It hurts them almost. It's like when someone is not there and they mean so much to you, and it almost hurts you, but then they have these weird, I don't know how to explain it. It's like when you're on the twin flame journey, it's like you get these sensations, almost like a rush, a burst of energy, like an electric sensation all throughout their body, and they have no idea what is going on, but their intuition, their higher self is telling them, like, listen, there is something more to your connection. And Spirit was saying this connection is so different. It is earth shattering, like an earthquake. That is this foundation, this life, okay? They had built a life. They had built a life for themselves, and they thought it was stable and everything was great, even though they were still looking for something, the Ace of Cups, even though they were still looking for something more in life, they thought, okay, I'm just living my life. Then there you were, and they had this moment of like intensity that was almost paranormal, because they looked at you, and it was like in this brief moment when your eyes met, it was almost like a flash ran through their body, like lightning strikes, and then you're taken out for a second. That moment in a movie where time is standing still? This is how it felt. And they're saying, how can I go back? How can I go back to my old life now that I met you? And honestly, this is the issue. Spirit is saying that's what they've been running from this entire time, was the realization that there's no going back. Sometimes you know things intuitively. Yeah, it's upside down. Like all that they've built is flipped upside down, and they're really questioning. They're questioning all these material things they have. You know, maybe they have a home, happy life, all these material items, but something is still missing, and it does not matter what they're doing. It does not matter, because here's kind of what is going on. And by the way, this is kind of part 2 of my first part. If you want to see, I want to link it somewhere up here. But this is kind of what is going on. I was taking notes. It's like they have this poker face. They try to run from this connection, but they can't. But what they have been doing, this is kind of your point of view. And by the way, this is your energy right now. It's like you look at them and you see them doing all these things that make no sense to you. Maybe they're hanging out with people, partying, they're distracting themselves, you know, traveling or busy, working all the time, you know, overworking themselves, and they're pretending to do so well, but alone at night when they're in bed and it hits them and they can't run, there's nowhere to run, there's nowhere to hide. Their thoughts keep circling around you because a part of them knows and has realized that there is something more to your connection. Like, you know, sometimes when you have a crush on someone, you can't stop thinking about them for some time, and then you find someone new and you start overthinking them. But with you, it's not like that. It's not like that. There's more than just thinking about you. It's you know what makes this connection so special is the signs and the synchronicities that they see on the everyday basis that go way beyond. You know, this is someone who's not that spiritual. I won't say they're not spiritual at all, but they kind of are the more rational person. They are kind of like, I believe it when I see it kind of energy, but they go through their day and you're always on that person's mind. And then what they're doing is basically they have to forcefully distract themselves from thinking about you, but it is unsuccessful. Spirit was showing me that they kind of need to do all these things to keep themselves busy, you know, traveling or working or meeting up with people, you know, everything you're doing to distract yourself, to keep your mind off of things. But at the end of the day, they still are thinking about you in the middle of a conversation. And the way this came through was that they might hear a song on the radio, you know, randomly, and it takes them out. It just takes them out because it's almost like you're speaking to them. They can hear you in songs and they are seeing all these angel numbers. And not only this, you're kind of all encompassing, but they're not really fighting you. They aren't really fighting you. They are fighting their own insecurity and the fear of being vulnerable, the fear of losing control with that strength card. This is also the card of spiritual alchemy. It's kind of like, also there's the infinity symbol. Really, that could be a synchronicity that you're seeing like this. I'm hearing eternal flame, you know. You definitely have a feeling of you have met before, but with that inner alchemy, here's what we're often forgetting about the twin flame journey. When you're on this, you know, you have these strong feelings for that person. You love them so much. Like, you experience a love that is almost, you can't put it into words because it's more than you would have ever thought was even humanly possible to experience. You know, it's a spiritual experience. It's a spiritual awakening. It's a mystical experience that you have. And not only this, I mean, you're going through a Kundalini awakening. You're having these electric sensations in your body. You know, you're having these jolts of energy where you not just feel their emotions, you feel their presence. You feel, which like is blowing your mind. You feel them in your body and you're like, what the heck is actually going on here? And your life is really turned upside down, and it's not always rainbows and sunshine. Sometimes it happens where you're going through the dark night of the soul right after meeting them. And I feel like this is what happened to them because they have not descended into their own darkness in the way you have, okay? So what happened was that everything in this person's life that they had built up to here that wasn't really aligned with their true authentic self, you know, with what their soul was really longing for, and everything that was kind of shallow had to fall away, and you wanted nothing more than to be there for them in that time. But Spirit is saying this is something that they had to go through on their own, but not really, if you know what I'm saying, because you're someone, you have, first of all, you have such a big heart, and you have the entire time, you've been sending this person your love and your strength, you know, your strength, your balance, your love, your energy. You have this energetic exchange that is going on in the astral realms. And by the way, I've been writing an entire guide about this, how to connect on the telepathic level. You know, if you want to understand what is really going on within them, even if they're maybe currently closing up the walls, you know, going into their little shell, building up this brick wall to not let you in, there are ways where you can find out what they're thinking, what they're feeling. And I've collected this all in a guide. I've been on the twin flame journey for 2.5 years. You know, I had to figure everything out on my own and go through endless forums on Reddit and everything. Like, I've been just overwhelmed in the beginning. You know, being in no contact, being in separation can really be hard, okay? Like, just having no opportunity to talk to that person it's hard, and then you can't stop thinking about them, and you miss them so much that it hurts. It really, like, you're like, I'm gonna go insane. I'm gonna lose my mind. I cannot take this any longer, but there's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to go. Like, and having no option to talk to them is hard, but I want you to know that this phase of separation, quote unquote, you're not really separated, but physical separation is not there to punish you. It is, you can find ways on how you can actually move into a state of fulfillment and connection and feel this connection that already exists between you and them, even if it's not physically here yet, okay? I've shared the link down below if you want to know more about how that works. It's currently on sale for a very short time, 30% off, so grab it while it lasts. And let me see, because I had almost like a vision earlier when I started to film this. I had to start over 5 times. And it's also the middle of the night. Whenever this happens, I know it's a very intense message. I'm also getting a slight headache. Like, they are definitely, oh yeah, they're in their head about you. Whoever this person is, they are someone who is very often almost, I want to say, caught in their own mind. They feel very attached to their own mind, if you know what I'm saying. So when you're going through this and your ego is being shattered, you stop relating so much to your mind, you stop relating so much to your body, and you realize, like, okay, wait a minute, I'm actually not my body. I'm not my name. I'm not my age or my status or my wealth or whatever I have, you know, the house, the car, all these items that you have amassed in your life. That is not you. And that is not what it's all about. It's about something completely different. But the way we get there is not always the same. For some people, it's more about the spiritual journey and really getting to that point by reading books. But there still is a part that is very, you know, tough, where your ego has to be shattered in a way. So there's a moment of crisis where you, it's Spirit showing me someone is pulling the rug from under you in such a way that you have the feeling of having no control over your life. And this is what shatters your ego. And I feel like this is what they're going through, because in a way, I had two images here. First of all, like a house of cards, when it's already falling down, like there's nowhere to stop it. You want to run from it. You don't want to look at these things that you don't want to look at because it's uncomfortable, but you can't. At some point you have to face it, and I feel like this is what they're slowly starting to realize, is that you're working together in this, okay? It's not like you came into that person's life to shake it off and now everything is bad and oh my God, no. It's like you are each other's mirror. You're helping each other to see and to heal, and to, your energetic connection is, you can feel it. It's going on. It's happening. I want you to know, and Temperance is also here, that you can always reach out to your twin flame. And especially, I know it's hard because I've been there, it's easy for me to say, when you're currently in the midst of it, it's not that easy. But let's say you're currently looking at what they're doing. You're like, what the heck is going on? Why are you acting like this? The best thing you can do, first of all, never hold back your feelings. Always tell them whatever's on your mind. Like, I feel like there's no use in just bottling up your emotions, because that's not healthy at all. Like, tell them how you feel. Tell them how it makes you feel that they're doing this. But on the other hand, it's one of the hardest things I had to realize on this journey is you cannot make them heal. You cannot force them to do things. You cannot speed up their process of healing that is taking place individually. But what you can do and how you can help them is by sending them your love, by focusing on the version of your twin flame. When you look into your twin flame's eyes, okay, and you see that version, this version exists, the version of them, this higher self version, their soul, and this version exists. Focus on this, focus on it, because your love is what carries you through, okay? And I've created an amazing method. It's called the thread method, where you can actually forget about what is going on in the physical, all these triggers, and you can tune into this bond that you have on a heart and soul level. And you can send them your love and you can receive their love. And it's such a beautiful experience. This is the one thing that brought me the most comfort and has helped me to actually stop focusing so much on the physical, because that usually, it's not going to help you. It's not going to help your connection. It's not a regular everyday connection. Okay? It's something that goes way deeper. If you want to try out the thread method, go to the link down below. It's in my workbook. I want to see kind of that. Okay, so I had a scene on my mind. Wow, with the Hanged Man also. I had a scene on my mind. This is, by the way, all over the place. I'm sorry. It's very late at night. I am tired and it's like 100 degrees. They are at a party, okay? They're at a party or with people, with friends or so. And that feeling when you're surrounded by all these people, but you feel alone. You are there, but you're not really there. You're there, but there's almost like a bubble around you, and everything is happening, and you watch it, and you're like, you have this moment. I'm getting goosebumps. Oh my God. You have this moment where you're like, what am I doing here? What am I doing? What am I doing with my life? Oh my God. What is happening? And then the thing is, when they're in such a moment, to be really honest with you, the only person they want to have with them is you, because no one can give them this energy that you have. And they know it, they can feel it, they can sense it. They can sense you. In a way, they can sense you. You could be on the other side of the universe, you know what I'm saying? And they could still feel your love. because your love is, in a way, it is nourishing without water energy. It is healing. We have so much water here. It's like you're going through an immense period of healing, both of you, but both of you are at different stages. And I think it is so crucial, if you're on the twin flame journey, to acknowledge that, okay, maybe they're at a different point. Maybe our healing is not happening simultaneously, and that's okay. Because at the end of the day, you have seen their best version, and I think it's almost like God has shown us the potential of this person for a reason, okay? Because we can see them in such a light, okay? They might not be able to see themselves in this light, but we are here to remind them every day, to remind them of what is possible. Because truth be told, among all these people, when they are with other people, okay, even if they look so happy and from the outside looking in, they look like, oh my God, they're just living it up. The truth is, they can feel your absence, and it's weighing on them very heavily. They crave the energy that only you can give. There truly is no one who can give them that energy. And this is the hardest part. Honestly, this is just my honest opinion, okay, as someone who is on the journey. I feel like the person who is running from this is always in a position where they are suffering more. Because when you're running from it, you are being confronted with your own emotions. When you're running from it, instead of just surrendering and facing it and being like, okay, it's intense, but I'm just going to allow myself to feel everything that's coming up, when you're running from it, it's like it's haunting you because you can't run from it, because it's like you're connected. You're part of the same. Like, how can you run from your own shadow? Like, where are you going to run when it's always following you? And this is what they're slowly starting to realize, okay? Let me see what else I've been writing down. Yeah, I wanted to say this is all over the place. I hope this is not too long. I also wanted to draw a couple of message cards from them and an oracle card for the end. But whatever hardship seems to be in the way currently, when we're going through a phase on this journey where it's really tough, we're really frustrated, we might have some dark thoughts that are coming up. We're never lost, okay? These difficulties, when you're perceiving your obstacle circumstances, you're really triggered by their behavior or whatever. This is only because you're coming at this from a place of you want to control it. But the truth is, it's hard to acknowledge it, but everything is already happening in the best way. Imagine this was all part of it. Imagine everything was part of the story, of your story. And on a soul level, you're already in union. And the more you tune into the photo method or the thread method, everything that I've collected, honestly, I wish I would have had this in the beginning. Because I had a very rough start of this twin flame journey. I was like at a point where I was just like crying for 2 weeks straight. And I really honestly wish everyone who is on the journey, from the bottom of my heart, that you're gonna find the beauty of this. It's a very special thing. Not everyone gets to experience this. And you can look at it from a point of this is punishment, or you can look at it from a point of it's beautiful. I'm honored that I get to experience this. Okay, let's see what they're saying. My feelings for you are something I've never experienced. Yeah. This is the thing. They have never thought that they could even experience it. It's, sometimes when you're seeing a movie or hearing a song and there's this type of love that is being described and you're like, it's not real. But then you're thrown into this, and honestly, that is the thing. You're so overwhelmed that you don't know, the feelings you're feeling is like, it almost makes you think like, have I ever felt before? Because now it's like everything is pouring in. And there's nowhere to run, but it's okay, and this is what they've learned, that it's okay to face their feelings. You might not see that on the outside, but they definitely are more in tune right now with their emotional side, even if they might not show it that clearly. Yeah, and what is spoken between our hearts is so loud. I feel you all around me. They definitely have a physical sensations, like they can physically feel you when you're not there, and also they have these moments where it's almost as if you would be there with them, and it's so comforting. They haven't really told you yet, but you are their home and you are their comfort and you're their safe place in this world. That is so confusing at times. Well, I hope this is not too long. Okay, we're at 26 minutes, guys. I don't want to make 40-minute readings. I always get a little bit caught up in these twin flame readings because honestly, it means a lot to me as someone who is on the journey, and I know how hard it can feel at times, but my tip is to allow everything to be there, because everything you feel is okay. There's nothing you're not allowed to feel, on this. Let me see. Spirit, is there any message for the end of the reading? Let me split the deck because these cards are not very easy to shuffle. Wow. Yes. Great mystery, trust. Let me see what kind of message is in the booklet for this. Okay, I'm not going to read the entire thing, but let me read you a short paragraph. It is time to put aside what you're doing and become part of the silence. How can you hear the truth of great mystery if it is being drowned out by modern technology, or your head is a constant stream of worry and fears for the future? Step away from brainwashing media and reclaim your connection with truth. Great mystery will never give you anything you can't handle, so throw caution to the wind and play your part in the intrinsic plan of the universe. Trust that everything is working out perfectly. Wow, that was such a beautiful message, beautiful ending for this reading. I want to leave it at that. If you don't want to miss out on more readings like these, subscribe for more. You can go to the link down below to grab my telepathy workbook if you're on the journey and if you want to learn how to communicate with your twin flame. I highly recommend it. And well, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate all of you, and I will see you in the next one.